and welcome to my channel, Lexi's Craft Room, or welcome back for those of you that have been here before. Today I'm going to be removing the gel manicure that I have on my nails. I also have two nails that have Colorstreet polish strips on them. I'm not going to be removing my underlying tips. I'm just going to be filing off the gel polish, filing off anything that is loose, and doing a backfill with my builder gel. I'm starting by removing all of that polish from each of my nails, and you'll see that I'm going to be trying to loosen anything or remove anything that is loose, but I'm going to come back later and do a better job of that in just a little bit. I do use a ceramic bit for my nail file, for my e-drill. It has a curved tip, which keeps me from destroying my nails or my skin around my nails, which is really important. So here I'm filing through the top clear layer, as well as the layers of color polish underneath and my previous nail stamping that you can check out in the link that I am attaching here to the top of the video. I'm being really careful to make sure that I'm removing all of that polish as possible, all of that gel polish, and I'll come back in a little while and shape the nail to the new shape that I want them to have, which is basically the same shape that it has, but because there is some grow out, I need to come back and get that shape really well. Here you can see I'm trying to get some of that loose stuff off so that there's no lifting when I come to do the fill. Often when I do a new set or it's time to do a new manicure, I do often remove the entire gel tip, but these were adhered so well that it just didn't make sense to remove the whole thing and do it all over again when it was just the top edge closest to my cuticle that was lifting. So that's the reason that I'm not replacing the whole thing and I'm using the tip that was there. I did a really good job last time on adhering these really good. Vacuum that helps me brush up all those crumbs so that things keep a little bit neater and don't get thrown all over my work area. Here I am using a pair of cuticle clippers to twist up that area that is loose so I can get to it a lot easier with my file. There is most likely a better or more professional way of doing this, but I am not a professional. I'm just doing this as a hobby, so this is what works for me. And having that curved tip really helps to make sure that I'm not doing too much filing on my natural nail, which I do try to prevent or avoid when possible. And I'm going to repeat that same process on each of my nails, just curling up anything that is loose so that I can file it off a lot easier. Switch to a different tip, still a ceramic one, but that cone shape, so that I can get in that area underneath my nails a lot easier to make sure that I get all of that existing gel polish off of my nails before I start shaping them for my new manicure. Tip just to pull off anything that's loose without it actually being on my e-file. And then I'm going with a smoother file to just smooth out where I had filed onto those tips to make the process of doing the backfill with the gel builder polish or the gel builder a lot smoother and simpler. Another brush around the nails to get rid of any loose debris. A quick vacuum of my workspace. And then I'm pushing up my skin away from my cuticle to reveal that cuticle area so that I can remove it a lot easier, and making sure that my fill is going to fill in as much of my nail surface as possible. I don't really clip off any of my skin in this area, that proximal nail fold. I usually leave it intact. I use a lot of oil during the week, and it does make sure that the area does not build up a lot of skin. If there's anything loose or hanging, I will clip that off, but it doesn't happen very often. Here I'm using my nail brush dipped in a little bit of rubbing alcohol to clear off any debris that is left, clean off that area instead of going to actually wash my nails. It makes sure that I don't have extra moisture when I go to do my fill. And I'm applying my prep and my primer to each of my nails, making sure that all of my natural nail is covered really well to make sure there's a good adhesion with the builder gel that I'm going to start applying in just a moment. that's rubbing alcohol that I have in the little cup. It really helps to clean up all the area when I'm doing any gel work before I cure the nail. I'm putting on one layer just in the area that I filed off and that I exposed from the previous fill. And I use the brush with the rubbing alcohol to clear off all those areas before I cure it. I'm doing one layer and then I'll go back in just a moment and do a second layer to thicken it up and make a smooth transition from where my natural nail and the refill is to where the tip is. This cleaning process is vital to making sure that there is a smooth transition, and as your nail grows out, it's a smooth transition from where there is no polish to where the polish is. You don't feel that hard line. Sometimes when your polish grows out, your gel polish, it'll get your hair stuck in it if you're passing your hair through your nails through your hair. This will really make sure that that doesn't happen, having that smooth transition that you can really only achieve by either filing or by going in and cleaning the area, smoothing it off with some rubbing alcohol and a brush. And now you see I'm smoothing it out, and I'm actually pushing some of that builder gel back in before I clean and do another cure. And these cures are all going for 30 seconds. You can see better there where I'm pushing that builder gel back into the exposed area so I don't have too much buildup on the middle portion of my tips. And do a smooth coat to cover the entire nail using that builder gel. Because the builder gel is so fluid and I want it to be in the shape that I set it, I do cure these one at a time. I don't normally do that when I'm doing a top coat or any color gel. I only do that when I'm working with the builder gel. To make sure that everything was good. Now I am cleaning off the sticky layer just because I wasn't sure exactly what nails I was going to put the Colorstreet strips onto. Here is where I made the decision, and then I'm going to go through and put a blue on the nails that I'm not doing the Colorstreet strips. I will end up doing a stamping on top of those. These are Beetles polishes. I get these on Amazon. I absolutely love these. They're pretty inexpensive for a gel polish, and they do come in lots of colors and lots of sets. They come in smaller bottles as well as bigger ones, and I really like the fact that there's a lot of complementary colors that come in each of the sets. So again, you can see I'm cleaning up any of that polish that went around the edges. Even where it doesn't look like polish has flooded the edges, I am still cleaning those areas to make sure there's that nice smooth transition from the natural nail as it grows out. And a second layer of this beautiful pale blue color. Applying this iridescent clear over the tops of these nails, and at this point I decided when I do a Cinderella nail, this is going to be the color combination. This really reminds me of Cinderella's dress in the Disney movies. So this will be my Cinderella nail the next time that I go to Magic Kingdom. So that was 2 coats of the blue and 1 coat of the iridescent. I was going to put this on those other nails, the Colorstreet strips, but then I realized that they did not have a white base. They were actually built as a clear coat. So I'm putting a white underneath so the paint colors really pop for those Colorstreet strips. This is another Beetles polish. All 3 of the Beetles polishes used in this video are from the same set, and they will be linked below. I wasn't nearly as careful with this white as I normally would have been to make sure that I had a consistent and smooth coat, because it was going to get covered up in just a moment with those Colorstreet polish strips. These strips are made out of actual nail polish, so they come off really well with polish remover if you were going to use that. They also apply really well, and you can see here that I'm only using 2 strips, so there was only be 4 strips used for this entire manicure, leaving a lot of strips to do multiple manicures later on. I'm also linking these strips and my Colorstreet stylist in the links below as well. Most people, when they're applying these strips to their natural nail, they will trim down and fold over the edge and leave it on overnight before filing it off. Because I'm doing these over a jelly tip and I'm going to be applying a gel coat on top, I'm not too concerned about that because I will encapsulate the edges in my top coat gel. So I'm going ahead and filing it off, and I am using my brush to make sure that I get all the edges and all the wrinkles brushed out as well. And I'm going to do the same process on my ring finger. Top coat is part of the Kiara Sky set that comes with the jelly tips. It's a no wipe top coat. I'm applying it on each of my nails, underneath the bottom tips, and at the edges as well, making sure that everything is nicely sealed in. and making sure to clean around the edges. And I could have been done right here, but I was in the mood for some nail stamping, so I pulled out this plate and one of my favorite stamping polishes, an ultraviolet. The plate and the polish will be linked below, as well as a code that will give you a small discount if you prefer to use it when you're shopping from Maniology, which is where I get my stamping supplies. Piece of tape to try and pull off any of that polish that's around the edges. That stamping polish does dry really fast. It is already dry. I can clean it off with acetone, and I will do that in just a moment, but I do like to try and pull off as much as I can before going at it with acetone. Especially useful if you're using a red or a black, which tend to smudge a lot. Getting off as much as you can before using acetone will really keep that smudging of that stamping polish to a minimum. Layer of the top coat. Because I was doing a top coat on top of the stamping, I did not have to do the top coat underneath the stamping, but I really like to have that top coat underneath so that if I need to wipe off my entire stamping polish, I have just another extra layer of protection underneath. And for my final curing, I like to do both the tops and the bottoms of my nails. So I usually do 3 times at 50 to 60 seconds, 30 seconds to 60 seconds at a time. Some oil, and there we go. If you like this, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for the next video.